Right, I say welcome to London, where in honour of a series of podcasts I've just listened to from the rest of history, where they did a statue tour of central London. Well, the presenters went to Trafalgar Square, then down Whitehall, and then into Westminster. But we've come a little bit away from that main thoroughfare, and here we are at the statue of Queen Anne, who was actually Queen when the Act of the Union in 1707 was signed. So that's a sculpture of her. And I don't know why all these windows are boarded up. Maybe window taxes or something like that. I'm not 100% sure. And this street in particular has got a lot of got a lot of kind of bricked up windows. But secondly, lots and lots of these kind of blue plaques where famous people have once lived. So just coming across the way here, London City Council, Lord Haldane, 1856 to 1928, statesman, lawyer and philosopher. Well, he lived there. So anyway, I'm going to try and take some pictures of these statues and see what we can find here in central London. So this is where Lord Palmerston was born, Prime Minister, 1784 to 1865. He wasn't Prime Minister for all those years, but fascinating. And of course, for the Isle of Wight listeners or viewers, he's responsible for the commissioning of the forts in the Solent and a number of other military structures. So Lord Palmerston, Queen Anne Street here. Just seen the statue of Queen Anne. And right, so that's a good blue plaque. Right, let's continue. Here, oh, a bit of blue sky. It's been raining. And let's wander across the road here. Sir Edward Grey. And it has been a grey day here in central London so far. But so from 1862 to 1933. So just a slight overlap with Palmerston. Viscount Grey of Fallenden, and he was the Foreign Secretary at one point. So he lived here. That's a good blue plaque. Charles Townley, 1737 to 1805. Lord Fisher and William Smith. I don't know if that's W.H. Smith fame. Who knows? Right, as I say, Queen Anne's Gate, just off Westminster. So Richard Savage, 4th Earl Rivers. He was the governor of the town of London. So Savage, governor of the town of London, that seems appropriate. 1660 to 1712. So 1660 was when Charles II was restored, wasn't it? Was that the Restoration? Because you had the 1651 Battle of Worcester. And it was about 10 years later he came back, wasn't it? Anyway, so there you are. He's probably been quite busy in the Tower of London in the late 1600s, early 1700s. So just to give you a bit of orientation here, we're at the Supreme Court of the United Kingdom, and some very fine sort of engravings, sculptures on the building. Looks like got the crown being handed to the Queen there. No really idea. Is this Elizabethan? Is that Queen Elizabeth? I don't know. Is it Queen Anne? And then we've got these other, got like some sort of she looks like a nun, but she's got a huge great sword in her possession. I presume that's it might be a he, I guess. It might be a he. I don't know. And then we need so Tom Holland and Dominic Sandbrook, if you can, I need you to help me out here, because I don't really have a clue who these characters are. I can't have guesses, but I'll be very wrong probably. Oh, here we've got, so that one's holding the sword, maybe the sword of justice, and then maybe the key, and then seems to have a little kind of castle in a hand, or his hand, so I'm not sure what all that's about. And then we've got like knights in armour, and again like someone on their knees kind of with some sort of scroll, and then coming around here, again quite chivalrous sort of characters with a flag, and there's a little boy with some sort of helmet, maybe with some strap. Anyway, so Justice there, obviously with the pen and the sword, and here we are, no entry, currently closed to the public, the Supreme Court. Centre there, you've got like a shield with a crown and 3 daggers underneath it, and then there's, so just zoom in, there you are, the crown with 3 daggers, and then there's I'm basically, if I can get you to listen, Tom Holland and Dominic Sandbrook need you to come back here and do another podcast on what the heck is going on at the Supreme Court here with all these sculptures and statues. I'd be very interested. Quite interested. Just outside Westminster Abbey here, famous cathedral, and just looking at these are quite modern sort of sculptures by the looks of it. Because we've got Bonhoeffer, who was what did he stood up to Hitler, didn't he? And King, Martin Luther King there, and I don't know who some of these other characters are. Colby's got a sort of skull underneath his feet. And then down at the bottom there, we've got 4 women who actually represent kind of ideas, really. Like there's truth, justice, and mercy and peace. So that's nice. So here you are, very good. And then, don't know who these other various kings, I guess, sculptured up there. That one looks a little bit the worse for wear. Got this, it looks like the rain's coming back in. So here, I don't know if this is St George, but if it is, the dragon is a very disappointing size. Not worthy. It looks like you could just slay that, no problem. But I don't know if it is. As I say, this is Westminster Abbey, sideways view of it. Not too busy this afternoon, but we're going to have a look at some of these statues in Parliament Square, and take a few pictures of them. So there's the statue of Cromwell, looking quite imposing. Quite sure he's got a hell of a pair of boots on there. Certainly protect him, wading deep into the mud. Got a lion, sort of just at the foot of the statue. 1599 to 1658. So there you are. And a man who could have been king, really, I guess. But certainly a big influence on British history. So yeah, slightly controversial, but here we are right outside Parliament, which seems to be having a lot of work done on it. And Richard the Lionheart, or Richard the, and of course, in the language, it's in French, isn't it? Richard de Lion. I don't know what that other. What does that say, Stephen? And then underneath, presumably, we've got some sort of. I don't know what's going on underneath there. Got some ladies on the left-hand side, and some soldiers on the right, and it looks like somebody's kind of maybe taking their armour off, or not quite sure, but quite interesting. So Boudica, and even though there's no evidence, look, of that they had kind of swords sticking out, wheels of steel as the band Saxon would say. Well, here comes the rain again, and there is a bit of blue sky. So, time to take a picture of the Boudicca. For anyone from the Isle of Wight, as I say, Palmerston's forts in the Solent, very big landmarks. But there you are, there's a statue of him. Viscount Palmerston, Britain's Prime Minister, mid-1800s. Right, take a picture of that. Apparently, I don't know how true it is, but apparently he died in interesting circumstances. Maybe one to look up on Wikipedia.